Hi good people, I am finally starting my YouTube channel, and I'm really happy to be here and that you stumbled across my channel. My name is Kara. Beauty and the Frizz stands for, obviously, I love beauty. Over the past year, I've really developed this love for makeup and beauty, and the Frizz stands for my frizzy hair, but it also stands for something else. I am a second grade teacher. My ultimate favorite teacher is Miss Frizzle from the Magic School Bus, and her students call her the Frizz. So that's where Beauty and the Frizz comes from. I felt like it really fit me. A couple things about me. I am a mom of two. I teach second grade. I use makeup as my form of therapy. It really relaxes me, and I just love colors and putting them together. I love learning new tricks and tips. I'm kind of on a journey with it. So if you want to come on it with me, I hope you will subscribe to my channel, and I hope that you will find something that you like on here. Today I did a rosy kind of look because my favorite makeup artist, Pat MCGRATH, has announced her new sequel to her first palette, her first rose palette. The palette I'm talking about is called the Mothership Divine Rose, and it comes in, looks like this. It's like just beautiful. It's pink. It's everything. So she's coming out with a sequel to this palette, the Mothership Divine Rose 2. It looks awesome. So I thought, let me just go ahead and do a rose look in honor of that. If you want to see how I got this look, I hope you will continue watching. And here we go. First, you're going to take your primer. This high glass primer gives me a very dewy, glassy finish to my face. I'm going to take my concealer a little bit on the back of my hand and just go over the areas that are going to need some extra coverage, especially under my eyes, my freckles if I want to cover them, and any other areas that may need a little extra attention. And I'm going to use a wet sponge to stamp that all in. I'm going to take my foundation, and I just like to dot all over my face. I don't like to use too much. And this foundation is medium coverage, but you can build it up if you want more of a full coverage look. And it's a radiant foundation. So again, using that wet sponge. Then I am going to take my concealer and hit the under eye area between my eyebrows, my nose, and also under my chin. I'm also going to use this as a primer for my eyeshadows, so I put it on my lids too, and again use the damp sponge. Gonna take some finishing powder. It's a blurring powder by Becca Cosmetics, and I'm just going to place a little bit of that on the areas where I use the concealer just to set that. I love this palette so much. So this is the Divine Rose Mothership palette. And I am going to, I'm gonna put some tape on my eyes just to make those corners nice and sharp. Almost forgot that step. All right, ready to roll. Taking my fluffy brush, The color I'm using is Valoria. And I'm just gonna go ahead and place that above my crease, but not quite to the brow bone. And a fluffy brush will diffuse this out really nice. And this is my transition shade. And these shades are really pigmented. You don't need a whole lot. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other eye. Taking the shade Rose Dusk, and I'm focusing on the outer and inner corner, not too worried about the middle, and I'm using a smaller brush. And again, you can see how that tape really helps you to have those sharp corners and, you know, not go outside of where you want the shadow to be placed. I'm also taking this underneath the lower lash line as well. Now you can see there's a pretty nice gradient between the first color that I used, Valoria, and the second color, Rose Dusk. And because I have hooded eyes, I have to go a little bit above the crease, just so you can see both colors. Taking my concealer, a little bit on the back of the hand, and I'm gonna focus this on the main part of the lid. Doing this is going to help my shimmer shade really pop and stand out. Gonna put a little bit on the lower lash line as well. And again, you can do this for your shimmer shades so that the color stands out even more. Taking Refined Gold number 2 and using a shader brush, and I'm just putting that on the area where I put the concealer. Same thing on the other eye. Now taking VR Rose Venus, using my finger, and I'm using this as well on the main part of the eye. I love this shade because it's like one of Pat McGrath's special shades. So depending on how you look at it or the light that's around you at the time, the shade looks different. All right, taking a little more of Rose Dusk and just putting it on the edges of the shimmer shade, just so that there's not a harsh line where the shimmer starts and ends. It just brings it all together. And there may be times where you do want the harsh line if you're doing a cut crease or something like that, but that's not what I'm going for in this look. Putting some more of the shimmer shade, the VR Rose Venus, under the lower lash line. Taking Extreme Mahogany and using that as a liner. And I don't like my liner to be thick because I have hooded eyes, and if I put the liner too thick when I open my eye, all you're gonna see is the liner. You're not gonna see any of the hard work that I put into the shadow. Removing the tape, taking Iridescent Pink 003, using that for the inner corner. Really, really beautiful shade, because upon first glance it looks white in the pan, but it really is an iridescent pink color. I'm also going to use Iridescent Pink 003 to highlight the brow bone. Taking a eyeliner pencil in the name of Love Drug and putting that on my bottom lash line. And I'm just using a little bit of concealer to just clean up any fallout, and just where if the tape left any marks. Make sure your sponge is damp. All right. Using mascara by Grand Cosmetics. It's called Grand Drama. And hitting the upper and lower lashes. Now I'm going to take my bronzer by Fenty Beauty in the shade Honey Glaze. It's one of her cream bronzers. And I am going to do this for my cheeks. I'm also going to do my forehead. Just gives me a little color. Because when you put your foundation and concealer on, it kind of makes you just a plain blank canvas. So you have to add that color back in, gives you a nice bronzy look. Taking another Fenty cream brush in the shade Drama Class. And I'm just using a blush brush. And I'm going to put that on the apples of my cheeks as well as my temple. And this is a very sheer blush, so I don't like to overdo it with the blush. And I love this because it's not cakey at all. It looks like your skin, and it gives you a nice glow, even though it's like super purple in the pan. taking the Hourglass Ambient Strobe Powder, and I'm going to just go across all 3 shades. This is one of the best highlighters I've ever bought. I'm so glad I picked this one up. Thanks to the Sephora sale. So these are the areas I choose to highlight, and this is where the sun naturally will hit you and hit your face, and you'll just have that really beautiful glow. Taking a lip liner by KKW Beauty, Pink 3, lining my lips. And grabbing a Pat McGrath, 2 Pat McGrath lip glosses, Dare to Bear, and the other one is, it's a Pale Fire Nectar. Using some Fix Plus, setting my makeup. And it's time to style. And I'm liking this. There you see that highlight right there. Beautiful, right? And it's not too much. This is a soft look. So this is the final look. I really like how it came out. It's pink, it's real Barbie, it's real pretty, it's super dewy and shimmery. I just love it. I am so looking forward to creating more looks and sharing more knowledge and just hanging out with you guys here on my channel. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all soon. Bye.